Yeah, it's your boy DJ Wiz Hoffa. We back. Faces of 518 podcast, episode 6, Legends edition. Today we got my man. We go back a long time. He's one of the pioneers in 518 hip hop, producer, MC. He's done management, many facets of the music industry, and he put in that work to be considered one of 518's greats, man. I want to welcome my man Black Venim to the show.
Yo, thank you very much, man. I'm honored to be here, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm honored to have you, bro.
It's a
Like,
blessing.
this thing of hip hop. What a lot of my friends, and a lot of the people that I interview are people that that I came to pass with in this thing called hip hop. And a lot of us have done some things and laid some paths in our local scene. You know what I mean? And, one of my jobs is to make sure that that doesn't go unseen and unheard. So that's really what Faces of 518 podcast is about. So it's only right that I bring people on here that have put their foot and their stamp in the game and deserve certain flowers. You feel me? So that's why you here, man. So you go by Black Venim now. When I met you, you was L.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big thing because, I started off in the Righteous in the 5% Nation of Islam. So my name was El, Everlasting.
Facts.
So that's what everybody knew me as. So it was beyond the fact of me just rhyming, and my name was that. It was just like, oh, back in the day, if you had rhymes and you was in ciphers with people, they'll see you from a block away and be like, yo, El, and call you into it.
Right.
So that's why it always stuck, because that was my name, you know what I mean, Everlasting.
And when did you start? When did you really start rhyming? Like, I started at 9.
Me, yeah, man, I think it was from the beginning. I always it was just an energy in me at my age. It was like an energy. That's what like kept me saying, like, watching, like when MTV first popped off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, watching Michael Jackson videos and stuff like that, it was like major in my life, because I was like, whoa. Because I was already, like, music was already me anyway, because I grew up through church with my father and everybody. So.
And you was born and raised right here.
The facts.
So the blocks
to the core.
So the blocks you grew up on, during these ages of influence were what? What blocks?
All over, uptown, downtown. It didn't matter, because we all was family, and it's like uptown, downtown. You had aunts uptown, you had sisters uptown, you had brothers downtown, you had cousins downtown, and that's what it was. We all hung out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the world that we looking at today. Definitely not.
So your first real taste of hip hop, like seeing it live, it happen live and right in front of you, what would you say that was? Was it out in the park? Was it a party? Was it?
Yeah, it was a party. It was like a block party. You know what I mean? Like, people was just getting on the mics. Had the DJ out there, Eric Tutt. Where he was out there, Crush.
And it's funny today, because nowadays, if you see a DJ in the park, nobody wants to grab the mic and rap. They want to do their song. They want to do their song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they ain't gonna get up there and do that, because you putting them on the spot.
Yeah.
So it's like they gotta have perfection. So they know that their song is hot. They know it's perfection. They gonna keep it to the line. I understand.
It's way different now, right?
Yeah. You couldn't do that.
Who was your favorite influences back in them days? Like, okay, by the time I met you, I was 15, 16-ish. So I want to know, up to the point of me meeting you, like, who was the niggas that had you spitting like that? Because I was like, yo, he's crazy.
I definitely gotta give it to Double D. He was dope. He's one of the legends. Double D out here. He was dope. Ramel, I gotta give props to Ramel too, because I was like still in high school and he was blaming him. I was still in middle school when Ramel was blaming him. I gotta give him that. You know what I mean? Almighty and K Will and all of them. Imperial Sounds.
Imperial Sounds for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Blessing and all of them. Yeah.
Industry wise,
Industry wise, you know, it was the GOATs. KRS, Rakim, EPMD.
I was like, he better not say EPMD.
Come on, man. yeah. Because I know right now we would have had to go back into it again. You're like, what? You would?
Because me and you used to argue about Redman. I remember when Redman was your nigga.
Yeah, he was top dog, and I, you know, I gotta give that because he was just lyrical with it. Him, K Solo, I can't front on him. He was dope.
So we was just like rapping in the community centers and Arbor Hill Community Center, to be correct. That's where I first saw you perform.
Yeah.
That's where I also saw Sandar first perform. And then I met him, built a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just remember, because, you know, I was making beats back then. I used to make beats for Machete Malone, Lil Dante, you know, my man Supernatural, Jason McNeil. There's a bunch of dudes that used to come to the crib and get beats from me.
Yeah.
But then, you know, so I met you and I'm like, yo, I want to produce for him. So you let me come to the crib. You had a room full of crates. You had the Tascam 4-track. We had the 8-second sampler, a turntable. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I literally just dug in your records, put something together on the 4-track, and then I was like, all right, it's finished. You came in and killed it.
Yeah.
And we used to do shit like that. We wasn't even able to sync things up. It's just like, all right, find a break beat, put it on 1 track or the 4-track, then find something to sample, keep hitting it manually all the way through the beat. You can't mess up. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to rewind it and start all over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The tape 4-track, that was it.
And you just keep stacking and stacking, you feel me?
Yeah.
Until you got something that sound like something.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, for the MCs nowadays, it's like, if you knew the history more of it, I think it would be more solid of the product we getting, as in there would be a foundation.
Right.
Instead of...
Their foundation is different than our foundation.
Right. And that's what I just the only thing that I really, like, wish that they had. Like, because if they did, they would be probably the dopest shit right now, like, out in the industry, like, in the market-wise. It's just having a foundation because they producing a lot of dope shit nowadays.
Right.
And it's just like, the foundation ain't right. It's like, we're about this and that's it. Instead of like saying, yo, this is a foundation for us to do this. So now it's like the legacies and all of that and everything is just like diminished. It's like infinite war. Like Thanos won. Everybody's just
because, you know, and the reason why, you know, when people come up to Faces of 518, you know, they gonna hear about the history because they need to know, like, that things that happen normally and regularly now wasn't like that.
Nah.
At our time. So it's like certain things we had to lay the path for in order for it to be normal today. Like back in my days, there was about 5 niggas who could give you some beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was one of them. It wasn't like your man next door, your man upstairs, your man down the block, they all make beats. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you had to have serious money to buy the equipment to make these beats. It wasn't a $300 software program that you could go and put on your computer. And then, you feel what I'm saying?
Right,
so, being one of the earliest producers of our generation, how you feel about the production game now? How you feel about, are you still involved?
Yeah. I'm really heavy involved still with the beat game. You know, I have all platforms, all DAWs. I'm into the MPs, the machines, the Logics, I do Pro Tools. Also, I make beats on that. So it's.
And you still rhyming too? Or no?
Oh yeah.
That's just
Oh
something.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was kind of a dumb question, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
some of us have made that transition.
Yeah. I ain't gonna. Nah. I told you. I told y'all a while ago. That's to the casket. It was in the rhymes. This is to the casket. I was dead serious about that.
Along that period of time, you know, we was a part of many different movements.
Yeah.
From, you know, La Born Click to, you know, CMD to PPM to just over the years always having our foot planted in whatever was going on. How do you still have the energy to be up to speed with everything?
Just my creative hunger. That's all I really feel like creativity. I plan my days around it and all of that. I know a certain time in the days I'm really focusing. I don't do nothing. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, not only that, I have a studio. So whenever I want to create, I just run in there and do what I want to do. And I can come back, go back into civilization.
What do you think that's plaguing 518 hip hop, if there is anything plaguing it?
I just think that we need, instead of more stars, we need more of the young boys to want to be more pushers that like actually go in there and get those doors open and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the business side.
Yeah, I think that that's the only thing that's really plaguing, because I don't feel like it's really a strong point where they can say, all right, I got a consistent amount of artists and they're all doing this type of status and they're at that level where they can actually open the door for somebody to say, oh, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like producers are doing their beats and they're giving artists their space to do what they do, but it's never, after it's all done, it's never like a collage. It's always like, it was him.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
Mm-hmm.
It
mm-hmm.
was him.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
It gotta be one person that busts the door open movement type of thing.
And it's gotta be like, no, it's gotta be like, you gotta really feel like, oh, Albany, New York, no, you can't really talk about none of them.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just, oh, I mess with him. Yeah. It's like, nah, you can't. You gotta watch how you even talk about them.
Right.
Because they got enough artists and they dangerous like that. And these artists are really artists that's in the mud and like really getting it.
And we really are dangerous.
You know what I mean? And it's like really dangerous. So imagine if it was like, instead of this and mm-hmm. that and this and that, it would be a powerful force. And that would probably be the thing that would break it, honestly.
One thing I feel about hip hop right now, right? I noticed that, you know, when you brought up ciphers earlier, mm-hmm. and it's like, you don't never see ciphers no more. No. Like, tell them what it was like to call yourself a rapper in our generation, what you had to go through to be considered certified.
First, in order to be considered certified as an artist out here, you have to really be out here and rhyming and getting with these rappers that's really making a name where people are saying, oh, you got to do this. And no, back in our days, it was like, oh, he's dope. He's from that's my dude. Mm-hmm. Now, yo, we going down here. He think he dope. Mm-hmm. So now you got to go down there. And now he got his people. You got yours and y'all in the cypher. Mm-hmm. And y'all going at it. And that's the way you got respect from the MCs. Sometimes you wasn't ready. Sometimes you had to go back to the lab and come back. But the thing about it was like, you got to go to the lab and come back. You didn't have to leave the club now and just like...
There was a competitional aspect to this. Like, we took it serious as a skill. So it was like, all right, you got to prove your level of skill now.
Yeah.
If you saying you nice.
You nice. Because guess what? He down there rocking. And guess what? You saying you that. Now it's time to go see. Mm-hmm. So me, I was just rambunctious, so I just ran around everywhere like, yo.
Dudes will pull up to your school to battle.
Yeah.
Saga came to my school to battle me.
Yo, for
All because his girl was in my homeroom and she told him, yo, this nigga nice. So he like, what?
Saga was on
You said a nigga's nice besides me? I gotta go see this nigga. You know how that ego is.
Yeah, Saga always wanted to do, he just like, he knew he was the dopest, bro. That's my bro though, word up.
Yeah, nah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with that competitional aspect missing from hip hop, you can hear it in the songs when people is doing a song to get along, not to like, yo, that's my man and all, but he's getting murked on this shit.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a mandatory. It wasn't like, oh no, I got him as a feature. No, it was mandatory. If you got in that booth, you better be hotter than the next, because you better not be at the bottom of that track. You better not be the last. Oh no, you the weakest link, bro. You can't be that. Everybody fought for that, so the bars was the bar was always set high, right from the first person on the track.
That's a fact. Do you indulge in what's going on right now? You got any newer artists that you really, really, really think are,
Oh yeah, definitely
have staying power in the game?
Yeah, my son, Caden Williams.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 17.
I would have said the same thing.
Nah, he's dope. He's dope. He's
really?
Dope.
How long's he been doing it already?
He's been doing this since, what, 5, 6. He was doing little Twitter joints, doing all of that back then. Like, when Twitter first started out, he doing little baby videos. Him at, like, 7 years old and stuff like that. So he's always been in tune. You know what I'm saying? His crib was in my studio. So he was always there.
Nah, well, I know what that's about.
Yeah, so, and yo, he's dope though. I'm telling you, it's about to come
see.
out. It's about
I can't wait to hear this. Who's producing it, him or you?
Me.
Okay.
And he produces. And he produces as well.
Okay.
And he produces as well. He engineers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So he's been going through. I already told you. I told you when we spoke a little bit earlier.
I know he know who all the greats are.
Oh yeah.
I know he done heard the albums. I know all.
Yes. Yes. I'm talking about thorough sit-throughs. Like, yeah, listen.
Do you think that young artists could be great without studying the greatest?
It depends. If his mindset ain't never been to the level of worrying about a great or knowing, have knowledge of a great, then he would have that problem. But as for, I think personally, I don't see it, because where are you getting your juices from? Where are you getting your inspiration from? Somebody is. Somebody's giving it to you. You're not just coming in
saying I want to rap and not being influenced by anybody.
Something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let's take it back a little bit. The PPM movement, right? At the time, that was a big movement. Yeah. I think that was the first time that we seen, I guess, some real money get put behind some marketing and promotions, and the street teams and getting the records on the radio. Shout out to Powerful. What was it like to be a part of that movement?
Yo, it was a bond and brotherhood. It was a bond and brotherhood towards me and Powerful and the other artists that was in it, because we had to be a family in order, because that's the way he ran it. Like, if he couldn't trust you, like a brother, nothing, like, you couldn't be around. And he held it very tight knit like that, and he showed me a lot about how he showed me a lot of who to look at and watch how the game is being played, as in towards the business side of it. And I helped him as well as switched it over and taught him the music side. Because when he started, I didn't really know nothing about like the management and all of this and all of that. But I knew how to work this equipment.
Right.
So he didn't know how to work the equipment. You know what I mean? He didn't know how to do none of that. He couldn't turn on a computer. He's like, "What's all of that?" And I ain't with all of that. So as we grew together, we just intertwined, and it became something epic, man. It was epic.
That was a proud moment for me because, you know, especially like, yo, my man made that, and that shit is fire. When that hut joint, fam, with C Money, and just the fact that y'all brought him back, you know, from, you know, people hadn't heard him rapping in a while, and because he was, you know, he's the first nigga I ever seen in the studio record a song. It's C Money.
Yeah.
To this day, I was brought to the studio on Madison Ave at Uji joint, and he was in there. My first time in the studio, he was in there recording "Ready to Explode," produced by Cannibal Code Chill, my man Chill.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fast forward years later, when y'all brought him back, it was like now I really got to hear how nice he was, because that's all I knew of him was that song. And then you guys were doing a lot of big performances and going on little tours and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. With Camouflage is what we brought back C Money.
Right.
C Money came in with Camouflage. That's with Dre and all of them. That's where Fatality started.
Okay.
Fatal Species with Littles,
wow.
Young Scorp and 60. You know what I mean? And C Money. But when it came to the music, no, they really came to my house and really recorded, like, got the beat together and had the rhymes already done. And then we went to the studio and recorded it because Dre was on it like, yo, time is money, B. We ain't got time for everybody to be creating in the studio.
Oh, that's how I still work, nigga.
You know
Crazy.
what I mean? So that's how it was.
Now they be going in the studio, smoking and drinking for an hour.
Yeah.
Then they don't got nothing ready. They just like, all right, I'm about to go in the booth, and they going every 4 bars, and I'm like, yo, these niggas really got money.
Yeah. Facts.
Me, I was on a budget.
Yo, facts. He used to be like, nah, we ain't got time for all of that. So they used to come to the crib, and we used to just sit back and chop and make all the beats, get all the rhyme together, and then we go into the studio. Bang, bang, bang. But when it came to PPM, it was something totally different. He was like, yo, you're the beat dude. He was like, you're going to make the beats. And I was like, all right. So when they opened up the door and all of that came out, it like blew. We like really had the distribution deal. It was
That was the PP. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. And then that's when things just blew up. It was like,
I mean, these dudes had rap vans and
we did a tour from Buffalo
there's still nobody
to Florida.
doing that right now.
From Buffalo to Florida. We did the whole tour from Buffalo to Florida. It was dope. It was for real.
That's fire, man. That's a part of 510, because back then it was all about vinyl, and if you didn't have vinyl,
Word.
chances are a DJ wasn't gonna play your record. It wasn't like now you send them an MP3. There was no technology to play MP3, so you wanted the DJ to play your record, you had to press up vinyl.
Right.
Let's talk about that's another thing that
facts. That was money. And that right there would like make or break you, because especially if you on a tour and them DJs at them after parties and right there on the stage they wanna play your joints, and you ain't got no vinyl or nothing. It's like they can't do nothing for you, and it's like now that person came in, gave him the vinyl, and now he got your party rocking, and you like So it was very detrimental to the game. Yo, we used to go to the state, and soon we get into the city, we used to try to find the people who did that. Majority of the time, we would always end up at the Jamaican studio. Word to mother, we would end up at the Jamaican studio, and they would make a dub plate. For real.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was critical, bro.
Y'all was basically white labeling your own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the other thing I wanted to tap into was fatality. How did fatality start? That was you and Grandpa LaDon.
Yeah.
And y'all was like the wildest niggas. Y'all was like the new MOP to me.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a lot of people say that. We had a lot of people say that. We've been in, they was in one studio in D&D's, and we was in the other studio, and we was recording our joint that was being produced by INS.
From Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Shaheem's producer. So we was in the D&D's in the one studio, and he was in the MOP was in the other, and we ended up intertwining, and they heard it like, yo.
Wow.
Yeah, we had that moment. And it was like, yo, niggas was like, yo, y'all trying to look like, you know what I mean? D at D&D's, my nigga, Big Wop.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to be like, yo, when they come up in here, I'm going to show
So
y'all.
He was like, yeah, you gotta see these niggas,
Yeah,
huh?
you got to see these niggas, man. Yo, I thought it was you too. What?
Yo, D&D, how was it like to be able to record in D&D? Because as long as I've been doing this, I never been able to step foot in there, and that's like a very legendary studio where, like, if you produced a certain type of hip-hop in this game, you needed to go there to get that sound.
Yeah.
Whatever it was that they had over there, that sound was very known for being produced at D&D. So how was that?
It was dope, actually. You know what I mean? It was dope. The dude who was the A&R for SWV, he was the engineer. His name was Ortiz. I don't remember his last name, Ortiz, but he was the engineer. And, you know, Dre had it, so he was like, yo, but we got in from RNS. RNS from Shaheem's Wu-Tang Stapleton Projects.
And so how did you get down with RNS and the Wu-Tang affiliation?
We got in through Buddha Monk and Old Dirty Bastard.
I know Buddha Monk was your man.
Yeah, no, it's still my brother. That's my brother. This shit right here is Zoo Fatals. That's what this is all about right here. That's my brother. Like, that's life. Word.
Buddha used to be up here a lot at one time.
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely. You know what I mean?
And so, I mean, I've always heard that there used to be a lot of Wu-Tang niggas floating in and out of Schenectady, Albany, and Troy. I just never seen it myself.
Yeah. Oh, no, they were. You know, we had all of them was up here. Shaheem was up here. We had the Division, the Coffee Crime family up here. We had Life. We had Dungeon Master. We had, list goes on, man. Free Murder. Everybody was up here.
Now that you brought about Shy, what you think about what the situation that just happened? I don't know if you was paying attention.
Yeah, I was paying attention. Actually, man, I think it's a lot of bullshit, man. It's like, I don't know which way that they trying to do it, but it's just bullshit. Or the mother killer bees are going to be killer bees regardless. You know what I mean? It ain't like you summons them. Killer bees are always going to be killer bees, no matter what. Like, or they're there just like, yo, the monitor, oh, they said this. That's what they're there doing.
Cause one of my mans was caught up in that. You know, Mickey Fax, that's my dog.
Yeah. And I was gonna hit you on that because I kind of figured, because I heard you shout him out and was talking with him. I'm like, yo, but at the same time, it was just like, it was bad. But at the same time, he came and rectified it like a real man.
They both did.
They both did like real men and did what they did. It's like all the extra drama and all of that extra things gotta happen. Nah, come on.
Shy had him coming out the woodworks like, you don't know who I am, nigga? Like,
Yeah, but
I felt them though.
no,
but,
yeah, no.
but I know that the
he
gods are
summoned that
civilized. They wouldn't have did it the way he did it.
yeah, but the thing about it, it was like I don't know the true facts about what happened with him and Killer Priest because it's like there was a situation. I don't know the facts of that, but still all in all, it's come on. He's already made a staple on it. He already made a staple on it. It ain't like everybody's new.
Right.
You know what I mean? Killer Priest is Killer Priest. What you gonna? He's not Wu-Tang. Are you serious? Come on, we're not gonna go there.
Well, the one thing I said is that's probably the one group that yeah, you don't want they fans on your neck.
Nah, not really because
I knew the apologies was coming.
Yeah, yeah. But I really like me for the fact for me to be able to speak like this. I have the right to be speaking like this. You know what I mean? I roll with Papa Wu. You know what I'm saying? He named me Messiah. You know what I mean? He told me this is what's gonna happen. Once you get in, man. But don't let nobody tell you nothing different. You
Rest in peace too.
Yeah, that's rest in peace to God.
Right. I know that hit.
And yeah, it hit a lot because I did a lot of journeys with him. Mm-hmm. Like during that 90s era and the 2000, early 2000, 98, 2000, going up to 2010, it's like that's what I did. You know what I mean? I lived in Fort Greene. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I lived in Lefferts.
And Papa Wu was like an OG to the rest of the gods, right?
And yeah, he was their God. He was their father. It was like he was the father for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he took me under. And that was just for me being at peace with him. And he was like, yo, and he showed me. That's why I'm so humble now. And you know how I used to be, but I understood in life now. You know what I mean? I understand it. That's why I'm not really too bothered about being in the streets. Like people like Venom ain't out here. Venom, I'm not really into all of that right now. I'm at peace with myself. Yo, actually, I'm in school. I'm in school. I go to Full Sail University.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I do engineering. I'm trying to get all of this stuff together for me. I want to get into like the sound designs and stuff like that, and do movies and films, and make sounds for them and commercials and trailers.
You doing the online course?
Yeah. I'm in my second year already though.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
Let me ask you that since you're going, and this is for any of the other people that wanna, because I see a lot of kids that wanna engineer and things like that now, right? Do you feel like you learned a lot that you didn't already know?
Factual. See, me, you already knew me. I was the type of person that wouldn't read the manual. I always got to touch the buttons. You know what I mean? I didn't go through the manual. Like, if I got stumped, then I knew that I had to go backwards, and I learned it through that. But then after I learned my first machine, then I started seeing that there was a lot of similarities with them all. So eventually I learned all of them. But now that I'm in there, definitely, as in for like decimals and knowing what is compression, what it does for you, and how to tack in and how you take away. It's a lot.
Subtractive mixing.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And like heavy on the shortcuts, just so you can be proficient working. And it just showed me like you got to change your way of doing it. Because it's moving faster now.
Right.
So that's what it taught me as much as that, but also how to really approach projects and how to approach things. And you know what I mean? And it's like focused me in on that. It helped me a lot in that way.
That's what's up. When you gonna open up something one day?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to work in that now. I got my own home studio, but I got all the software and everything. So
Can't beat the home studio, man.
Yeah, I can just create what I do. I got the HS8s, Yamahas. I got the Pro Tools, the new joint, everything, all of the software, all the plugins. So I'm just creating. And now just knowing how to approach these mixes and everything now, it's about to be really official, bro.
You putting a new little team together, or it's just about your son right now?
Right now, it's just about my son. That's what I wanted to do. I put in my mind when I started that, I said I want to make something like a classic Dre for him.
Mm.
Like something that's going to really make a statement like, yo, this is where it's from. My father's, and I'm this. But do it with that still, that Albany, that real Albany. This is what it is.
That's fire, man. I want to see that. I want to hear the results of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get you
he damn sure won't. He damn sure won't be making a lot of the mistakes.
Nah.
That, you know.
Yeah.
Because he got you there to guide him, and that's important.
And not only that, I teach him that too as well. Like, yo, make sure you, like, when you weighing it, you gotta know what to do. But as for like everything else, yeah, I'm on it. Not the right move. I did that already. It doesn't work. We're not gonna go there. Now I know what he's trying to do. No. Yeah.
Coming from our era, right? We held a certain value to production, right? And nowadays you see beats being leased for like 2 for $20. How do you feel about that? Because I sit back and I be looking at the game and I be trying to tell these dudes, like, when y'all bring down the worth, it brings down the worth. It affects the whole community of us.
You know, I look at it like this. The time it takes you to collect 300 cans, you done made what he made that day on a beat, on selling those beats and like that. $300 cans, what, $20, $18? By the time it takes you to go run around and do that, you done did what he did. It's still within a day. Sometimes, some days he probably ain't even getting them. But you could still go get that 300 and still make that $20 a day. It's like, why are you devaluing what you are? And see, a lot of things is this. I don't call myself a beat maker. I'm not a beat maker. I'm a composer, man. I compose things. I'm a composer, man. I don't want to be labeled no beat maker.
I'll settle for producer.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to call it.
No. Yeah, hey, yeah, that's even better. Producer's even better. I'm just a composer. I'm not. You're a producer. That's even better, bro. Yeah, I like that name too. I put that on there too as well.
The work ethic that we was bred with, man. Explain what type of work ethic that is, man.
Well, the work ethic is
because we really had to do a lot.
Yeah, we did, and that's what I think. That's what makes me still love it. Is that we had to do so much. You know what I'm saying? Like
and now it's easier.
Like, no, we was in snowstorms with book bags. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm going to what's my man over there? I'm going to Last Vestige.
Yeah,
I'm going to Last Vestige. I got to go check that jazz crate real quick because I definitely saw my boy up in there.
Yeah, we used to always run into each other.
And I'm talking about in the snowstorms, just like take the hoodie off and we up in there with the long.
Yeah.
Like I think that's it. Just to walk with the bag home, putting it in the joint.
The art of it.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I got this bag of goodies called records, and when I get home, I'm about to go through them joints and listen for the gems and go to work.
That's what it was, and I think that's what makes me love it. But now I'm loving it more to the point of I just want to do all of it. I want to do all of it. I want to engineer. I want to produce. You know what I mean? I want to do everything, dude. I want to make sounds. I'm just like want to be. Like, that's how I'm a creative juice, dude. That's when I am. That's when I'm most happiest. Is when I'm doing creative stuff.
Walking in them snowstorms. I remember walking from down by JJ's in Schenectady, downtown Schenectady to verse between Swan and Lark
Oh yeah, yeah.
just to make a demo. Niggas missed the last bus coming home.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I can't see none of these niggas doing that shit.
No, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
That's why they like, yo, you know, like, how do you do this? Because young people ask me that shit all the time. Like, how do you do this shit? Like, you really like a thoroughbred. I'm like, nigga, this nigga tell you I done passed out doing this shit.
Yeah, yeah. Word. We both have. Word. No, word.
In the moment, what did you think was happening?
I was like, yo. I was like, nah. I was like, yo, my nigga, word the mother. He right, man. He gonna be all right, man. I was like, he all right. Word the mother.
Yo, we was in the hot box making beats in 100-degree weather.
And still in
and
it.
we in the crib with a fan blowing. And we probably was drinking and smoking.
We was.
But either which way.
We was, word. And
I was out like a light, like on the
boom.
instant.
I was like, yo, he be all right. Word the mother. I was like, yo, come on,
and
fam.
I was too. You was like, yo, you fell out. I'm like, word?
Out, bro.
I'm like, word?
I was like, yo, that's what happened. I was like, you up in here hot boxing.
We was hungry for this.
Yo,
man.
but guess what? We was out there because soon as we done it, see, we was different. Because soon as we done it, we was out there with that tape.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Everybody had to hear that.
That's a fact.
And we was like, yo, this is what it is. Word up. And they was popping in like, yo, these little dudes is going crazy. And we used to just be out there like, bang, bang, bang. But then we started being able to get into these clubs to be able to rock. These bars. I started being able to get in them bars. That's when everybody started putting their bread up at them joints. And I had to battle. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, that's where it was at. That's where I learned my skills. Because after a while, you just coming off the head. And me, I was just with the juices. So, boom. Off the head, it was crazy. So that's how I won a lot of battles. You knew that.
Yeah, off the head.
Off the head. You like, oh, there go Venom off the head again, right? But he killed it.
Yeah, and you had that dominant voice too, so that always helps. That Sandar too, like that nigga. I've seen Sandar destroy dudes in ciphers. Off the head, not off the head. He could be talk about what you wearing, whatever, like that. Back then was like
real.
That back then was like, you know.
Yo, he was an animal. Sandar's still an animal on the low.
But when you in a space where this is competitive energy and you always get tested, you have no chance. You have no choice but to be an animal.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm saying they don't have that. They don't have to worry about that right now.
No, because they're already telling themselves that they're the dopest. So you don't have to validate if you're dope or not. All you got to do is just put out a joint, put it on YouTube. And if you throw out enough of them, you're going to validate that you're dope. But not for physically going in and having to go in and prove and go in and have people at you and you going back and forth with it and people trying to say, I'm talking about my approach was I'm going to keep going until they all walk away.
Mm-hmm. Facts. And look, they can be on Apple Music in a few days.
Yeah.
We were going places with a 4-song demo on tape, going to the labels, hoping we bumped into the right person. It was like the possibility of being heard was close to nothing unless you got a deal. Now, you can go and put the music out there yourselves and be on the same platforms that Jay-Z's music is being sold or Beyonce's music is being sold, which is amazing. How do you feel about, the transformation where we at right now? Coming from where we came from.
I love that transformation because I feel right now it actually gives my son an opportunity. It gives him a chance. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Instead of him having to walk the walk that I had to do. Mm-hmm. The walk we had to do, man. Listen, it was $250, $300 for a 2-inch reel, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
$300. All you get is 3 songs on it.
That's a fact.
So if you're doing an album, 15 joints, you do the math.
That's a fact.
That's five 2 inches.
And
but
you
then,
had to buy DAT tapes too.
Yeah, and on top
to
of
bounce
that,
it down to.
no, but then after that, for the real songs to get them done, then they wanted it mastered in 1 inch.
Yep.
And you had to bring the 1 inch in.
And them would cost more.
So you already knew. Plus you had to have that. And plus you had to have your DAT. So no, like everything.
And your homeboy down the block couldn't master your record.
No. Because on the real, you had to have a name. You had to go look for them dudes. Like, yo, he did that. That was a hit. We trying to get him. You know what I mean? And that was it. Like, that's why with PPM, that's what we did. We went and got Hightower. He's the one that went and produced that PPM joint. And he did that in Quad.
Okay. There's a bunch of people from Albany that's recording in Quad now. I see that a lot.
Oh yeah. I just engineered a dude from out here down in Quad.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it over there? What's the difference? What's the thing?
Quad is just more. It's just the ambiance about it. Just the whole mysterious, the Tupac and all of the Biggie things.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, I feel like people want to be there because of who they could bump into.
Damn.
And the mystique of what Quad has been known as. Not taking nothing away from them because they're a legendary studio. I'm just saying.
No. But right now, you could tell that that's what the younger artist is about. Wanting the mystique of it. That's what they want the narrative to be like. Yo, I've been here because that was. In all actuality, it's not really about the equipment that's in there. It's like, yo, I got up in Quad. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like.
I guess so. You want a higher echelon if you record at Quad.
Yeah, because they got the window. You got Times Square. You taking pictures in the studio. They got the lights and all of that up in the, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? We here. You know what I mean? Then you got all of the plaques, the Biggie plaques, the Tupac plaques. Everybody plaques is up in there.
So what we need to do is we need to get the 518 popping so we could put plaques all around this bitch.
See what I mean? This is how I'm thinking of it. This is what
you
looking
hear me, Kane?
Yeah.
We need blacks up in this building.
Yeah, man. We definitely need to do that. Yo, and that's real. You know what I mean? I like that. That's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? Just send them, let them get it working. That's dope. You know what I mean?
I spoke with Tado about, our era. And we had a nice conversation about hip hop, but I also wanted to talk about the situation with the violence in Albany right now. Some of us is a little on the outskirts. And that doesn't mean we don't know what's going on, but what do you feel like needs to be? What do you feel like is going on in our city, man?
I think what's going on is it's just a twist right now. It's like I feel personally myself. I have a lot. Like I think a lot. I read a lot. So I think this all stems back to that beginning of the era of getting a man out of the household. I think this is the benefit.
You said the same thing.
This is the element that is coming back to bite us, because now there was no fathers in their lives. Whether it was them in jail or whether it was they can't have no dude in their crib because they got on social services and wasn't able to have a man in there, or they arguing all the time. But it was during this time where now we're reaping the benefit. Now the problem is starting to happen because now you're starting to see the kids don't care because that's the way that they were raised. They were raised by young girls themselves. So now it's like, my mother is not old.
Right.
So now it's the wordplay is different. dialect, the respect level is different. It's all different.
They listen to the same stuff their kids listen to.
Exactly. So then you already know what it is in that mind frame. There ain't no leading. There ain't no teaching.
Right.
It's who's lit, who's more lit now, and that's a problem. So now they out here in the world where they just like, yo, I'm doing me. It's about them, you know. And at the same time, I think the only way that we can get that back is it's gonna take something. It's gonna take something at a great magnitude to make them stop, because they're not gonna stop, because they're already caught up in the mind frame of how it was structured. You know what I mean? This was pushed like for them to be like this. Everybody, you was raising your kids. It was boom at a certain time and years, like in the 90s and 2005 and 8. What they was doing, my kid Savage, he gangster. This little G ain't playing,
and you know, crack hit in '88.
Yeah, so from that point on, there's another problem that came. So now you got those kids that now were grown up, who was babies subjected to it. So now they having kids. And it was a downslide. There was a play for it, and now we got it. But the thing about it is, it was like I think the craziness about it is that we would probably never thought that in Albany, that this shit is gangster as it is out here nowadays.
It is. And we've been, I mean, you know,
I'm talking
not to
about
glorify violence, but, you know.
No. See,
people think that it's cows up here.
Nah,
it's not.
No.
Like people in the city, some people have a different perception of what's going on up here.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that, yo. Like, no, there's outskirts of Albany that definitely got cows and deer and all of that. But no, Albany, nah, that's a different breed, bro. You come up in here doing that and it'll be your last party day.
What T was talking about when he came up here, he was considered a mech nigga.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yo, shout out to my nigga Tano, man.
We was talking about...
Yo, he used to get tight at us.
You said when I first came to Allah born. Oh, man.
Niggas used to call me a Mac nigga.
Yo, because I asked them, because what was the term? Because that's what it was. That's what they used to do. It was automatically a competition made. Like, you different than me, so we going to make that known, and we going to treat you.
Right.
We're going to treat you like this.
Yeah, no, because we already knew, like, yo, Albany was always
You're
like...
not coming up here taking over no blocks.
We can't allow that. We're not going to do that. And so that's when that terminology came. So we didn't know their name. So you know that Mech nigga.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That was the first thing that came out of mouth. You didn't know his name. It was that Mech nigga. You know. That was here earlier. Yeah. So that's where the name came from. So that's why after a while you couldn't call Todd that time. But like, man, I've been here too long. You ain't gonna word.
Who do you like that's out now, industry wise? Like, do you pay attention to any of the young guys?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of that. Yo, listen what you're talking about.
What you be listening to?
I listen to Pooh Shiesty.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty dope. He just gotta keep his ass out of trouble. I try to tell everybody, yo, he was gonna be the next one that's gonna be the money dude. I knew it. And I said it. I was like, yo, he's dope. I was like, because he has an old soul flow.
Mm-hmm.
Like an old gangster pimp flow.
I hear that.
But he talking new shit.
Right.
So that's why I was like, yo, there's something there. You know what I mean? But besides him, you know what I'm saying? Besides him, I listen to Seth G. I listen to Fabio.
So you like the drill wave?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I feel like that does give me a real East Coast feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of those drill beats. Like,
yeah. Them. Of course, whenever Nas come back, I gotta rock him. But as for the new dudes, yeah, Chef G. What's my nigga? A Boogie. I listen to A Boogie. I listen to what's the dude? Trippy Red.
You doing better than me.
I listen to Trippy Red. No, I give him all the chance to know. Oh, but I really like my boy, the Kid Leroy. I listen to Kid Leroy.
Kid Leroy?
Yeah.
I've been hearing about him.
The Kid Leroy. He was Juice World Man. But this little white dude, he's dope. He's dope. I always like, and ever since from the beginning, his beginning stuff, I was like, yo, I just catch the hits. I know when you're a hit maker. I'm like, he's dope. He's that. So that's why I like skip my son. Listen, be like, yo, he be like, I'm like, nah, he's dope. He's a hit. That dude right there is a hit. So, and then I just go and check him out and listen to him. That's when I get into it with him. That's certain dudes like that. Yeah.
Do you listen to like some underground shit? Like right now, I'm really into Willie the Kid. I ain't gonna call it underground, but it is compared to what music is. I'm still listening to Ransom.
No, I listen to Ransom.
I'm still listening to Mickey Fax.
Nah, I don't listen. I didn't listen.
Griselda.
Griselda, definitely. I fuck with Griselda. I'm just mad because
I feel like we making a comeback. Like we could bring Gritty.
Nah, I said Griselda took me, Meek, and Young Scorp's joints.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That was us, man.
Yo, I mean,
for real, and that was like early '90s.
But look, Rand been doing this.
Yeah, y'all know
before them.
Yeah, for real, for real.
To see how it comes full circle, though.
Yo, but it's dope. That's dope. And what I think is the new wave should like grasp some of it and start to sprinkle it to make a new life, because that way you can still hybrid some of this legendary stuff before.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sprinkle it and keep the new life going on this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why.
Another thing too, I think the music need to start bringing them cuts back too.
Scratches?
Yeah, we need scratches back in the music, bruh.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. Nothing sound like scratches.
Yeah, I feel like, yo, that's an element of hip hop that just like totally diminished and like disappeared.
You know why? Because back then, you know, they used to just chop up the phrases and stuff, and the labels wasn't coming after you. Once it became a business game, now they look at scratching those phrases as samples.
Oh,
a lot of that's why if you hear Premier scratch anything now, it's from a song that he produced, because he still owns publishing of that, so they can't tell him he can't use it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's how dirty they went with
That's what messed up the scratch game. I mean, if
you
want to scratch your own, if you want to have your own words scratched, now and you can do that.
But guess what? I just read something like they just brought sampling back, like acknowledging sampling in the Grammys now and stuff like that. So,
well, listen.
What was that? Like Smoke Screen?
They took Fat Joe whole album down 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Because the whole album, he had like old loops and old classics that Cool and Dre kind of reworked, and they tried to just put it out there on streaming platforms, and they was like, oh, nah.
You're not going to do this.
Shit was up there for 24 hours. Yeah, and they was like, yo, Joe should have known he had to get them samples cleared.
Yeah, because guess what? They're acknowledging them now for Grammys, bro. Like, they acknowledge samples. So, with that being said, like, he should have knew that. That was something. Word.
So, your son is basically, that's everything that you putting your time into right now. As far as you as an artist,
no.
Or are we gonna hear something from you? A resurgence?
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually was going to just produce that. Yeah, you'll be getting something from me by tomorrow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I just wanted to do this podcast so I could.
Oh, I seen the video. I seen the video that y'all put out not too long ago. I was like, okay. Yeah. I shared that joint too.
Yeah. Me and Paula joint. You know what I'm saying? Paula. Yeah, he's resting up right now. You know what I mean? He caught COVID.
Did he?
Yeah, so he's resting up. He's good.
Tell that brother I said what's good, man.
Definitely.
It's been a while since I seen him, man. I never forget when the cops ran up on us one day, and that nigga, yo, this is the realest shit I ever seen. The cops run up on us. We walking down the street, me, Venom, and Paula, and they all draw their guns. I heard them all click at 1 second's time. Freeze against the wall, and this nigga Paula gonna turn around and say, "Yo, y'all motherfuckers know better than to run up on me like that." It's like he knew every officer that was on the scene. It was like, is that fucking crazy? Y'all pull up on me like that? Like, and he's really talking to them niggas. He's really barking on them niggas. Like, how dare you? I'm like, yo, that nigga, that's how you know a nigga's in the street.
Yeah.
If he know every officer, he in the street. That joint was crazy, man.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a crazy day.
It was, man.
Yeah, that was epic.
But yeah, we here today, man.
Definitely. That's a blessing. That's our
It is
journey.
a blessing. You feel like hip hop saved a lot of our lives.
Yo, yeah, definitely. I know it saved mine.
That's a fact.
I know it definitely saved mine because, yeah.
That's why, you know, when the younger artists that I'm mentoring now, I love the fact that they're so serious about their craft, because honestly, I feel like there's so many other things they could be doing, and it makes me feel good to actually keep them off the streets. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
And you know, I feel like we can be our mentors in our own way. We don't gotta be at a community center or, you know, a basketball coach to do the same thing.
Yeah, I also do that as well.
Some of us have been keeping niggas off the streets for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And guess
especially producers.
Word.
That's not a title that people give us.
Yo,
we are the ones that provide that shit.
And guess what? No, and guess what? That's why we called ourselves that, because we actually arranged everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we took the wildest MCs off the streets and was like, yo, we gonna rock with this, we gonna do this. And they was committed, and they would come and rock.
That's a fact.
And that saved a lot of their lives, because then they learned structure. They learned how to sit back. They learned how to sit down and watch and chill. They wasn't moving as fast as they was.
Facts. And, you know, when people wonder how could somebody be like, how could certain people be in a mix of so much madness and never get touched, it's because it's the respect level that we got, that we, you know, we changed certain niggas' lives.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about, like, yeah, like spiritually touched them, like, yo, I never had nobody do this. I had nobody care like that, bro. Like, seriously, like, no matter what, like, they niggas was able to get in the house. It didn't matter, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
That was the realness about it, and that's where that bond. That's why I had so many bonds with different people because of that. It was like, yo, he's been in my house. My mom's met my mom's. My mom's cooked him dinner, made a plate for him, and
that's a fact. That's a fact. We had our little, you know, we always had our little union of us that regardless of what, we was all focused on the music, and if that was the case, 9 times out of 10, you knew that person's moms because you was over there all the time. Word. And I think that our moms would just rather us had been doing what we was doing than being in them streets. I know that made them sleep good at night.
Exactly, because guess what? Even if they had to get up and be like, yo, y'all still doing this? And it'd be like 1 a.m, we still up in there, head nodding.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's still that way. It's about to be that way tonight, nigga. Like, when I go home.
Right.
It's still that way, man.
Wow. That's dope, man.
But yeah, man.
Which means I know you still love it like that.
Oh, absolutely, man. I got I got a young group of talent that I'm cooking with right now, and I feel like, you know, they give me that gratification that this generation is still very capable of making great music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not down on everything that's new, but I just feel like all of it is not timeless.
Right.
And I want to make timeless music.
Exactly.
Because that's the stuff that, that people later will redeem as classic. I feel like the word classic gets thrown around too easily. People say
that's
something
true.
is a classic in a month.
Nah, that don't be the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, to make me say a classic is like, no matter what, if it comes into my topic of what I want to listen to, I'm going to pick that one. Because that's the classic.
Right.
I know that I'm not going to be disappointed with this song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like certain albums you listen to, and you get to about the fourth joint. Then after that, you like, there's a gap.
Or you skipping around.
Yes. It's like, come on. That ain't, and for that to be labeled a classic, it ain't a classic.
That's a fact. Look, we gonna be doing this Legends edition. We got 2 more episodes coming up, and I'm trying to make sure the 518 know who the greats are. And you know what? Y'all can holler at some of these guys, and if you need somebody that got beats, that need beats, that makes beats, whatever. How could people get in touch with you via social media?
You can reach me at Venom Beats on Facebook. You can reach me at Mr. Venom 518 on Instagram. You can reach me at Venom 518 on Twitter. You can reach us definitely. Also, you can reach us on www.familyfirstmusicgroup.com. That's my son's new website label that we starting, and me and him doing together as a venture.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? I'm going to show him the ropes, show him how it really works, and I'm going to be on the side of it. I'm going to get this thing up and running. It's family first, so you already know.
That's what's up, man. We wrapped up another episode of Faces of 518, man. Venom, glad you came through,
Thank
bro.
you, man. It's been
you know
great.
what I'm saying?
Thank
I definitely wanted to, put the spotlight on some of my guys. Because, we some of us is unsung heroes, man. The producers, the ones that ain't all up in the videos, they need light too. But, really though, man, this man is like truly always been inspiring to me as an artist, as a rapper, as a producer. You know what I mean? He always been cutting edge on top of everything that's going on. So I knew he was gonna have something new to talk about and something and moving forward. Cause these episodes ain't just to talk about what we've done in the past neither. Cause honestly, a lot of people don't give a damn. But I'm gonna make you give a damn.
Right.
While you watching my show.
Right.
So shout out to you, Venom. Shout out my man Kane. He always holding me down. And we'll see y'all on the next episode. Faces of 519. We out.
Peace.